I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Board of Commissioners for the town of Mint Hill, North Carolina, December 12th, 2024. We do have a quorum present to conduct business. At this time, I'd like to ask Commissioner Long if he'd lead us in our invocation, please.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we come before you tonight, we are thankful for a beautiful day you've given us. Please comfort those who have lost loved ones during this holiday season. Lift them up in spirit and whatever they need. Please watch over us as we travel, protect our fire, police, staff, and all the citizens of our town as we enjoy this beautiful place you've allowed us to live in. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Item number 3 is additions, deletions, or arrangements of agenda items. We have a couple additions. You're going to see at item F that you have already in your packet, item at 5F in the consent agenda. You're also going to see that item 13, we will go into closed section to consult with the town attorney. Does anybody have anything further? Staff? Is that all? All right, item number 4, approve the minutes of the November 14th, 2024 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 5 is the consent agenda. Accept the November tax collector's report, accept the audit extension contract with A&R Craven CPA LLC. C, accept October treasurer's reports and financial statements. D, adopt a resolution to award retiring Captain John Rowell his badge and service weapon. E, approval of the town manager's contract. F, adopt Mint Hill pornographic policy.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 6 is a scheduled public hearing. The applicant has deferred that until the January 9th meeting. That's on ZC 24-5 for rezoning for retail development located at 6412 Matthews Mint Hill. So that will be deferred till the January meeting. At this time, I will open public hearing on ZC 24-7 filed by Perry Davis for property located at 7619 McEwen Lake Lane to request an exception to the downtown code parcel number 137-064-12. I know the applicant's in the room. I spoke with him, so if you'll come to the podium and introduce yourself, give us your address, and then you have the floor, sir.
All right. You guys will have to excuse me. I'm not a public speaker, so I'll do the best here. I am Perry Davis. I go by Drew. I am Perry Andrew Davis the fourth. There was a third, there was a junior, so we go back a long ways in Mint Hill. So there's a lot of things in Mint Hill that are named after some of our family members, and I have never been in this room. I can tell you I'm a lifelong member of Mint Hill. I've not been to any of the board meetings, other than probably when I was 4 or 5. My mother was the first town manager with Bobby Long up here. So I probably ran up and down here when, not here, but the old places with Mom and Bobby. So I am a builder. I live at 7619 McEwen Lake Lane. You literally can almost see the house from here if you stand and look down Lisbon. So a couple years ago, I bought a couple lots over there and started a house to do it as a spec. And this was after the neighborhood over here was mostly finished. All the houses were done. The road over in front of my house that I've got two lots actually, was very tore up, was busted up. It was a mess, and we knew that Meritage was going to fix it. We just didn't know what. So when we laid it out, I was aware of the 18 inches threshold height there and floor height. So, but we had some concerns because we did not know what the road was going to be finished like, because it was a mess. Don't know the way to put it. So I called John at that time, and I said, before Greg Flo was the one that set the house on the lot. And so Griffin Masonry was the one that was doing the foundation. So I called John and I said, John, I got some concerns because I want to keep the house low, but I want to meet, but I don't know what they're going to do with the road. So we knew at the left front corner of the lot where the driveway met, they were not going to tear the road up because it was fine. Well, we had 24 inches height from the threshold height from there at that time. We were just going to let it play out. So to where it came from there. So after they finished the road, you can see is that it there, John?
Yes, that's your house.
That's actually not even, the house is not even laid out properly on that. Have you got I can show you the survey. If you can see the lines on there.
The survey's in their packet, so I don't.
Yeah, the house is actually, if I were sitting like that, I would be much closer to your 18 inches straight out from the door. The house is actually further over to the right of the property line.
And that's the way it shows on your survey.
We
have
are
that in
set to the
We
right
have that
over
in
there.
our packet, yeah.
So when we laid the house out first, we're gonna diagonally keep it the same distance from the driveway side. But when we laid it out, and if you come down Lisburn, you were gonna look at an odd angle at the house. It was gonna look at sort of at the side of the house and not from the front. And for a tiny lot, I've got a fairly wide front. So I had some room to slide it over. So I'm actually only about, from the back corner of the patio to the property line, I'm about 8 feet. I think it's 8 feet 3 inches. From the front, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm about 10 feet. So I've got probably 20 feet to the left of the front corner of the house to the driveway. So I've got much more room there. So we decided to shift it to the right because it looked much aesthetically pleasing more coming down Lisburn to look at it that way. So we set it to the 24 inches over to that corner. And to be real honest with you, when the guys from Griffin and I did it, we didn't shoot it with a transit. We just hand measured it and we just knew we were roughly there. And then we let it play out to the road because there was not that much fall. So after they repaired the road, we were out of town. I was out of town when they did the road, and I thought they would take the road down, and they didn't. They actually didn't do a great job on it. They actually widened the road towards our side anywhere from 2 inches in a couple of places to as much as 6 inches. So it kind of ate up onto our property line a little bit. So, and then on the edge, and I've got a picture in there if I need to show it, that it's very thick on the edge. Do you want me to?
Here, whatever picture.
Oh, Lord, and I can't even see that good. I'm just going to scroll through the pictures real quick, and I'll get to the ones that's just pictures of the steps in the back. So that's showing you the height of the back of the house. I took just a few just so you guys could see some of the other heights of the foundation there. That's the back coming up to the steps. So this picture here, if I had left it the way it was, the way we originally were going to put it, the door would have come in about right here if I had shifted it to the left. But it would have looked, when you came down Lisburn, let me get to that. it would have stared more like this coming down the side. So it would have really not been and two, if you actually see the survey that you have that shows the house next door, it would have taken those houses and they would have done like this and it would have looked really strange. I am a obsessive visual person, so I like things to line up in a certain way. So you can see, can I take that to the full screen, John?
Yeah.
So I can see it better? All right, let me go back to a couple here. So there's probably best if I show you from the foundation point. So there's the front foundation when we did it, and you can see this was the grade. So when we set it out, we had a brick step down to the patio, and I wanted to set the concrete to 2 brick down, and this was my grade level. So I actually would have had 4 inches below, so I would have had 4-inch step down, 8-inch step down to the sidewalk, and I had a slight decline to the road. Now, once they repaired, and I'll see if I can find a picture showing you the way it looked afterwards. All right, that's probably a good one. When you come out the door, I actually initially had set it for it to be 1 brick lower than this, and this actually has got a slight decline to about here, and then it has a gentle rise back up to the road where I lose some elevation there on that 18 inches. That's probably a little better view. You can see where I come down, and about right in this middle point here, I start to get that rise up. Well, once they fixed the road, I actually had to add dirt along the front of the house because it just raised it up. And what I'll do is let me go to that. You guys have to bear with me because I really can barely see that. John, is that repair after the road?
It says
One below
examples of below 18-inch
Okay.
threshold. Yeah, there you go.
So this was after repair, and you can see where the road was and where they widened it a little bit coming over. So this is right here where my sidewalk currently meets the road. This is the thickness after they repaired the road. So and you can see this is before, obviously this is, and I know John and I had talked, so the actual road, you can see where it's fallen in here, and this is where the original road was. So we're actually, I think I have got a picture. You can sort of see where the road, and they would have had a hard time because there's a pretty good swell there to deal with, so running their equipment. So that was our issue there. Now, all of that would not have been, that's all new asphalt, but that is not the complete height. I mean, I'm not adding all of that height. So we didn't get that, but we would have probably been right in this area right here. So once we shifted the house, I've got the 24 inches at the corner. Realistically, when it was all said and done, Greg came back out at John's request. I am only sitting at 7.5 inches from straight out from my road, my front door to the street. If it would have been at street level the way it originally was, I probably still would have been a little bit short. I probably would have been 14 to 16 inches. I could have been 18, but I can't tell you because I don't know what the road was. I can't tell the road from there because the actual road here was pretty much ed up and gone. The road actually was about right here. Not an issue for me. McEwen Lake, and Greg and I were talking about that the other day when he came, Greg Flo. This property line is actually about right here, so about 3 feet of my property is McEwen Lake Road sitting over on this side. Because he was kind of curious as to when they put the road in over there for the neighborhood, why they didn't slide McEwen Lake back over the way it sort of should have been. But again, it's where it's at. It doesn't, and it runs at an angle. So about where my actually there's the driveway. So it's sitting about right here. And it kind of comes at an angle across these lots, coming across there. So as I told John, I thought, and this was where I'll fall on the sword, I thought when I talked to John, we were done and finished with it. And then come to find out later it wasn't, and that is completely my fault. But where it's at now, I certainly didn't mean to not be at 18 inches straight out. I could have been, I probably would have been a little bit short if it's from straight out. And I actually put a little note in there for John. I said, because he did tell me, and it's that I probably would recommend that the wording in there be stating that it goes from the threshold straight and not just threshold to the curb or to the sidewalk. Because I could have run the sidewalk to the corner, I could have run the sidewalk and have met it from different places, but I do understand. Because I actually we bought one of the houses over in Mint Hill Village when we sold our house over on Floyers Road. And I lived in a house that is very similar to this one, but and I actually went over and measured it. And it's about 4 inches higher from the threshold to the curb. If you look straight across from my house, there's probably 6 or 8. There's probably 24 of the houses over there that don't have it. But that, again, not my issue. I just want to make sure and get this rectified here the way I need to.
Questions for the applicant? Commissioner Long, no? Commissioner Holton?
This, on topography or anything, this isn't in any kind of floodplain or anything existing, right?
No,
Say that one more time?
It's not in any floodplain or anything?
No.
Okay.
the swell that's actually in front, if you ride down there, actually McEwen Lake does not sit flat. It has got a peak to the front. I don't even get hardly any water in the swell that is there that doesn't have any piping, even when we have horrendous rains.
I think I'm good. Like I said, I mean, I see the drainage ditch and all
Mayor
that.
Pro Tem Dalton, any questions?
Not really any questions, maybe a couple of statements. I do appreciate you taking ownership and saying some of it was your fault, instead of trying to hide behind the town or saying it was unclear. And to me, that speaks volumes. Even if you said, to the point you might have been 14, 16 inches.
Yeah, I could have been,
Yeah,
correct.
so other than that, I don't have any questions.
Well, and then to respond to you there is, I own the lot right next door that I'm fixing to build a house, and I've got 3 more lots up on Pinewood. And I'd like to end up with some other ones on Pinewood, so I'm gonna be right here, up and down right in this area for the next few years. And so I certainly don't want to do anything and want to be,
I used to be
up on board.
I used to be a general contractor, and that's lessons learned.
absolutely. And it has been a lesson with with some of the downtown overlay stuff is a little bit different because it's not, I even was going to mention to John, it would not be a bad idea if it's to have a foundation inspection before it goes any further and not at the end would not be a bad thing to do. Kind of circumvent that, not be at the end but thank you.
Chief, did anybody sign up to speak to this? If not, thank you very much, sir. I will now close the public hearing on ZC 24-7. I will now open the public hearing
Yeah.
on ZC 24-8 filed by the town of Mint Hill to modify the town park definition. John, are you in charge of that one? If you'll give your full name and your no, I'm kidding. Go right ahead, sir.
Okay. This is a definition, it's very similar to the definition we already have. And what we're doing is, we're really just trying to avoid future confusion. So, obviously, the town is looking to do a community center there at the Bain School property. And this is just a definition to make sure we're covering that a community center is considered a park. I mean, that's really the bottom line on this.
Any questions for John? Anybody sign up? Thank you, sir. Anything further? If not, I will now close the public hearing on ZC 24-8, filed by the town of Mint Hill. Item number 9 is public comments. Did anybody sign up to speak to public comment? Yeah, I'm getting the same answer out of you. You're pretty easy this evening. All right, I bet I can get something going on the next one. Item number 10, discussion and decision on ZC 24-6, filed by Elizabeth Downey, Panda Express, for a conditional rezoning from BG to BG-CZD to allow a restaurant with a proposed drive-through for property located at 12946 Albemarle Road, parcel number 137-152-57. Mr. Hord.
The planning board met on November 19th, and they have a favorable recommendation for the Board of Commissioners. The recommended consistency statement that they have offered is the land use plan identifies the property as industrial heavy. This area generally accommodates manufacturing and production uses, including heavy manufacturing, light manufacturing, warehousing, distribution, assembly operations, water and sewer treatment plants, major power plants, and landfills. Although the proposed development for ZC 24-6 is inconsistent with the land use plan, the proposed use is a permitted use with the conditional zoning within the current property zoning, and the use appears to be compatible with the surrounding uses. Therefore, the application appears to be reasonable and in the public interest based on the information presented and reviewed with this petition. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dalton, any questions for Mr. Hord?
No.
Commissioner Holton?
No, sir.
Commissioner Long?
No, sir. I do have one question. We're going to do two motions, right?
We are.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on the recommended consistency statement.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the recommended consistency statement, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. I will now entertain a motion upon the motion to to approve the recommended ZC 24-6.
Motion to approve ZC 24-6.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. All right, item number 11 is to appoint planning board and board of adjustment positions, and I'm going to kind of walk through this slowly, one at a time, so that the man doing the talking right now isn't the one that gets confused, because we've got a few of those to make, and they're not straight out. So I will entertain a motion. We have one position on the planning board to be filled. That position is to fill a term of somebody who has resigned from the planning board. So I'll entertain a motion or somebody to nominate somebody for that position on the planning board.
Mr. Mayor, I make the motion to nominate James Washington for the opening on the planning board.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other further motions? Hearing none, all in favor of Mr. Washington being appointed to the planning board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have 3 positions on the Board of Adjustments that need to be filled. One of them is from a resignation, which will be a 12-month term, and I'm looking at Madam Clerk. Am I getting this right? Okay. Will be a 12-month term. One of them is an expired term, so it would be a 2-year term. And then there are the two of them are for an expired term. One of the people would like to be reappointed. So at this point in time, I will entertain the first motion, or first nominee for somebody to fill one of the two-year terms.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Matt Swable to fulfill that remaining year of the one that's leaving.
Okay, you're gonna go the other direction. That's fine. That's
Sorry,
not what
I
I asked for. You just do what you want to do. I mean, no, I'm kidding. That's fine. So we're gonna go with the one-year term first.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any other nominations to fill the one-year term? Hearing none, all in favor of Mr. Swable, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? He will fill the one-year term vacated by Frank Norwood. Then I have two positions that are open, one of which somebody would like to be reappointed. Would somebody like to nominate the gentleman who would like to be reappointed?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I'll make a motion that we reappoint Ronald Rensler to another term on the Board of Adjustments.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, we're down to the last one. I have another two-year term that we need to appoint somebody new to serve on the Board of Adjustments.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make the motion to appoint Timothy Rozicki to the two-year term for the Board of Adjustments.
Second.
Any other nominations for that position? Hearing none, all in favor of Mr. Redzicki, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, does that take care of all that business? Thank you, ma'am. Just so that you are with us here this evening, all of these are applications that have been put in online. So the people that want to serve the community can serve on any of these boards. We have the Planning Board, the Board of Adjustments, and a number of other things. So if you ever have interest in wanting to get involved with the town, it's a good place to start, and it's real easy to do. Especially I see some of you younger people in the crowd. Perfect for you younger people because you can fill that thing out in no time. It'd take me a while. But those applications are online. Other business and council matters. We'll start with our Mayor Pro Tem this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Carpo, we didn't have a meeting this month. It was canceled for Christmas. The Historical Society had a great tea beginning of Thursday of last week started. They had a total of 7 teas. All the teas sold out in a 3-hour period once it was opened up. That was pretty good. This coming Saturday, on the 14th, they have a holiday home tour over on what's the name of that road? Robin Hood Road. Down at the end, there's going to be 28 trees decorated in this house, and they're opening a home up where you can walk through it. 2 floors, first and second floor with festive decorations. There would be a cost of $25 donation to the Historical Society. And this past Saturday, I don't think anybody was left unscathed from the town hall that just worked themselves silly. I want to thank everyone. But from our police, all this town staff, police, fire, but especially Public Works. Man, they put in some time, and then even after the fact with cleanup. I'm really proud of what they did. And I'd like to wish everybody in the town a Merry Christmas. We won't be back until next year. Please pray for the people who had deaths this year. They won't have their loved ones with them this year. And nobody to share that Christmas with and also safe travels. That's it, Mayor.
Very good. And for you who know how I normally run this meeting, watch this move. Commissioner Long. I definitely wouldn't make.
Thank you.
You're
That
welcome,
was my
sir.
Christmas
Anything I can do to
gift.
make your day better.
You just did. That was a gift because I don't have to follow our radio man. Well, we had an outstanding attendance at our seniors luncheon at Independence last Saturday. That's always a great event, and we appreciate how the town supports it. The Chamber of Commerce puts it on, but the town certainly is there for them. Enjoyed the Christmas parade, although it was a little bit cool. Was glad everybody got out, and it was conducted in a safe manner. And then we did attend a police briefing this afternoon, and things are going well in town with the law enforcement, and we really are grateful for them, the police officers, and the fire that are out 24/7. They don't get Christmas off always like us. And as Dale said, would encourage you, wherever you travel, be safe, just be cautious, because that's the most dangerous thing we all do is ride in an automobile. So Merry Christmas.
Commissioner Holton.
You ready?
You thought I was going, I thought about going first, but go ahead.
Well, do I have a treat for everybody tonight? Because not only is tomorrow Friday the 13th, but it is the holiday mingle and jingle at Mint Hill Veterans Park. And the festivities start with the shopping opening up at 5 p.m. and the Grinch will be shown at 6:30 p.m. So there'll be the Christmas market, the movie, train rides, photos with Santa, and food trucks. So I encourage everybody to bundle up, come on out to Veterans Park for the holiday mingle and jingle. And one other thing I want to just make aware, one thing that I've seen an organization over the past couple years grow and flourish is our Mint Hill Athletic Association. And the board that they have there right now has done amazing changes. They just got new lighting out there on the fields. There's a lot of great stuff. But one thing that I hear them saying is getting the word out about the youth sports that's available in this town. So if you know someone that has children that are interested, make sure they know about Mint Hill Athletic Association, because there's soccer, there's baseball, they've brought basketball back. And I mean, that place is just, it's so great for the youth to be involved in that. And they're doing a phenomenal stuff out there at the Athletic Association, and a lot of cool, positive changes on the horizon for them. So that's what I got.
Very good. It was a great weekend in Mint Hill, really a great weekend with the parade and the seniors luncheon and everything else. I probably got to talk one-on-one with more people in town than I do in an entire year because they were out. And as I would talk to them and we'd discuss certain things, they'd say, well, I didn't know that, and I didn't know that, and I didn't know that, because it's tough to get information out nowadays. People my age, we used to get up in the morning, we'd go out on a stoop and get a newspaper and go inside and read everything we need to know. Well, we don't even have a newspaper in town anymore. Some people don't do social media or anything else. But I would give you one tidbit of advice. I've been around this staff here at Town Hall for 5 years now. If you'll pick up the phone if you have a question and call in here and ask the question, these people over here against this wall and the other people who work in this town hall are extremely knowledgeable, extremely knowledgeable. And most of the time they can stop any rumors that you're hearing about they're going to put a Walmart in the middle of your neighborhood or anything along those lines. If you want to know what's going on the agenda for sidewalks, any of that kind of, if you have a question, call Town Hall. Really, social media is not giving us the answers, and the answers they are giving you are quite hilarious. They really are. It's fun to sit back and read some of them, and I'm like, okay, you just fell off your roof. But do call Town Hall because the staff that we have here is the best there is in the county, best there is in the state, which along with our fire and our police, the chiefs are sitting back there in the back of the room, and they're thinking, Mayor, if you just hush, we could go home early. And that's why I'm dragging this thing out, because I like to keep them out late because I owe them anyway. But please, if you're looking for it, you're looking to have a question answered, talk to the people who really know what's going on. We are going into closed session at this time. For you that are here this evening, may have not been here before, or you that may be listening that haven't listened before, we only go to closed session for certain things. Personnel matters are always done in closed session. Legal matters, which is one of the things we're going to talk to the attorney about tonight, are always handled in closed session. We never do any town business in closed session, and there's never any votes held over there of something that we're not trying to hide anything. It's just things that we cannot discuss in the public. So at this point in time, we're going to go to closed session. We won't be coming back here. We'll adjourn from closed session. I thank y'all for coming out. At this point, I would accept a motion to go to closed session.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you all very much for being here.